Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about what happened during a conference. And you all remember that some of these people, colored people, do not believe that there is they have white privilege. And for this woman to, when we talk about white privilege, you are going to think like, maybe black and palm colored people talking about something and all that. No, it wasn't a black and white people talking about something. It was a palm colored woman talking about another palm colored man having a white privilege. And you all remember that we talked about somehow that they were saying that it looks like black people are also going to save democracy for 2024. It looks like that is their plan. But now let me tell us something. If they are waiting for black women or black people in general to save democracy 2024, they all are a joke, because this ain't happening. The reality is that they always fail to listen to black people when black people talk to them about some certain thing, especially when it comes to politics and all that. They always look for a way to vote against their own interest, and then come back later on to tell black people that we're sorry, we never listened to you, and can you people help us, save democracy or help us with this and all that. No, this ain't ever gonna happening anymore. You know what?
You are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls.
I just want to run it back, though, to the very beginning, because this is something that I just can't get over. I can't get over the gentle lady from South Carolina talking about white privilege. It was a spit in the face, at least of mine as a black woman, for you to talk about what white privilege looks like, especially from that side of the aisle. And let me quote your now ousted speaker and what he had to say about the Republican Party and y'all's lack of diversity. When you look at the Democrats, they actually look like America. When I look at my party, we look like the most restrictive country club in America. And let me tell you why nobody wants to talk to y'all behind closed doors, because y'all lie. That's just the bottom line. You have done it thus far in this investigation. You have done it this far as it relates to this committee. In every single hearing, y'all spin. I don't know how y'all are still standing right now, because you should be quite dizzy from all the spinning that you're constantly doing when it comes to spinning the truth.
So, I just got through watching the Theater of the Absurd, or as some of you all like to call them, committee meetings on Capitol Hill. And in this particular performance, some white-on-white crime took place when this United States Representative, Nancy Mace, a Republican from South Carolina, started to attack Hunter Biden for showing up at a committee where he was subpoenaed to show up at. The white-on-white crime is spectacular, and to watch this millionaire from a party that doesn't believe white privilege exists use the phrase was priceless. Let's watch.
Mr. Chairman, Chairman Comer, first of all, my first question is, who brought Hunter Biden to be here today? That's my first question. Second question, you are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls to come up here and...
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry.
Mr. Chairman,
if the gentle lady wants to hear from Hunter Biden, we can hear from him right now, Mr. Chairman. Let's take a vote and hear from Hunter Biden. What are you afraid of?
Hold on. Order.
Are women
allowed to speak in here or no? Are women allowed to speak in here or no? Did you keep interrupting me?
I'll interrupt the chairman. I don't know that he's a lady.
I think that that Hunter Biden should be arrested right here, right now, and go straight to jail. Our nation is founded on the rule of law.
Come on.
And the premise that the law applies to...
You can't make this up. To watch this millionaire Republican that represents a party who doesn't believe in white privilege use white privilege against Hunter Biden in this situation, it is just too rich. It's too rich. I see why you all need us to save your democracy, because you have no clue what it is in the first place. The hypocrisy is just priceless. All right, you all have the day you deserve, and I'll see you later tonight when I stream the Republican National debates.
You are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face.
You see what she just finished doing? Not only she tried to hit a nerve, she tried to be very low-class trash talk. And I'm referring to the one that was the representative for the Republican committee. When she mentioned to a woman, and she's a woman too, but she don't look at the woman as equal. She looking at the fact that calling her an epitome. And I'm so glad that the young lady turned around and said to her that her entitlements of being in white superiority does not exist. And I'm also glad that she kind of put her in a way. You see, you have to make the words be a power of your tongue. And that's what she did. Okay? And then afterwards, I know after she's finished speaking to her, she became speechless. That's how you make your enemies. You make your enemies become silent and numb. And that's equivalent when you make somebody tell them that their contract is voided. Okay? Or it's voidable.
What's up, everyone? Coach D speaks here. So, white privilege was trending on Twitter yesterday. And you won't believe why. See, when you hear white privilege is trending, you probably think it is maybe black people talking about something that happened in the black community and how if you compare it to something that happens in the white community, this is why we say white privilege. But no, that is not why. If you go through all of the tweets about white privilege from yesterday, you will find that it is Republicans talking about white privilege. All of a sudden, because Hunter Biden got a plea deal, Republicans seem to know what white privilege is. It's absolutely amazing. Because listen to this. Marjorie Taylor Greene once said these things in an interview.
White men are bad. White men, they're bad. They have to be pushed to the back. They shouldn't be listened to. But what that's done to your generation and even some of those a little older than you and those definitely younger than you is it has created hopelessness in many of these guys, which turns them to all kinds of bad things, porn on the internet, reading crazy stuff in chat rooms, and God knows who's in there and saying what they're saying. A lot of time playing video games.
Yeah, that was Marjorie Taylor Greene claiming that white men and young white boys are so persecuted in this country that they've turned to watching porn on the internet. Oh, and playing video games as well. But yeah, it is now the fault of minorities in America for persecuting white people so much that their young kids are now watching porn. That is a sitting member of Congress right there. And then later, in a separate sit-down type of an interview, she says this.
But the problem is, Glenn, there's not a lot of lobbyists here for regular Mr. and Mrs. American, like mom and pop shops, the single mom trying to make it, the guy, the average white male trying to climb the corporate ladder when his problem is being white and male.
So in that clip, she's basically saying that white men are having trouble climbing the corporate ladder because their problem is that they're male and white. So for a while there, Marjorie Taylor Greene believed that in this country, we were suffering from the opposite of white privilege. We were suffering from white persecution. But now recently, in a sudden turn of events, she's jumped on a different bandwagon and tweeted this. Unfortunately, Kodak's daddy was not president, and he's not white. And basically, this is about Hunter Biden facing similar charges as Kodak Black going to prison for 3 years, but Hunter Biden only receiving a fine. Now listen, I'm a strong believer in white privilege in general. And I've spoken about this at length. So I'm not going to sit here and talk about the differences in Kodak's sentencing and Hunter's, because we can find many that prove white privilege does exist. But now Republicans are using it for political expedience. Like, which one is it, guys? Does Hunter Biden have white privilege, therefore you're acknowledging that white privilege actually exists, or are you just using this for political expedience? Or should I expect you guys at the next rally for Black Lives? Yeah, not a chance. And to add to this, and why I absolutely despise most black conservatives, here's a clip of Tim Scott on Sean Hannity's show talking about race.
We all know this to be true. The left weaponizes race whenever they're losing an argument. That does my grandfather a disjustice, an injustice. It's disrespectful.
The left uses race when they are losing an argument. Then it cuts away to nothing but white people clapping for that. Because you see, right now in this country, you cannot be a popular black conservative if you don't stand on a stage in front of a crowd full of white people and pretend that race does not matter in this country. You cannot be a black conservative in this country if you do not stand on a stage in front of an audience of white people and denigrate the black community. And you know, no bit of capitulating to white conservatives can be complete without invoking Black Lives Matter or Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, by the way, we should kneel in prayer, not in protest. That's so.
Oh, by the way, before I forget to prove to you just how much I hate myself and this skin color I was born in, we should kneel in prayer and not in protest. That's right. Get all those black people off their knees whining about deaths in our community and make them pray to your white Jesus instead. And you know what you will never hear Tim Scott talking about? You will never hear him talk about instances like George Floyd or Philando Castile or Breonna Taylor or the host of black people who have been unlawfully killed by police. You won't hear them talk about blatant white supremacy within the ranks of the police department, like text messages that have been uncovered by police officers that were extremely racist, like chiefs of police making racist statements about black mayors that they preside under. He will never talk about that because as low as his poll numbers are, they will become lower. Like I've said many times, the Republican Party is not to be taken seriously. It is all hate and bigotry. Prove me wrong. This is why we need to rally to vote these people out. This is why we need to make their hate and bigotry uncomfortable so that it goes back into hiding, because right now they've gotten way too damn comfortable. Period.
So this is all I got from this issues, and the reality is that you all remember that I once told you, I think late last year, December, where a white person actually tweeted that it looks like white people will be depending on black people to save the democracy for 2024. Yes, I read it. I am correct. So when they said that, a lot of black people did not find that funny, because black people were like, you all do your thing and do not bother calling us, because it's been them all the time wanting black people to save democracy. Number one is that they do not listen to black people. So it looks like this has become a pattern. You know, when I say a pattern, is that they always mess around during election, and then when they're done with election, they look for a way to run back to black people to say that if we had listened to you people, this wouldn't have happened, because they would always vote against their own interests. It looks like it's been a pattern, you know. They know this is not going to be they know this is a mess, right? This is not going to favor us. But instead of them, because black people have been telling them all these years, all this, and before election, black people are still going to say something and they will still not listen to it. But after they finish doing what they feel like it is right for them, then they come back to look for a way to ask black people to help them save the democracy and all that. And then I remember that I have also done a video where they said that that they are always, that they have always been voting against their own interest, even after being told that this is not okay for them, that they will still turn around, maybe after they have done, like, that they would rather, they would rather vote for a colored person that would not do anything for them because they feel like they are punishing black people. But then black people are already like, they have seen it all. It's not like there is anything new to them. And they also know all this. But still, they will not listen. So this is their own problem, not my own problem. If they choose to vote against their own interests and hoping that black people are going to save democracy, trust me, this is not going to work. And some of them, okay, I remember there was a lady that said that white people are used to doing this, looking for a way to use black people, that they always use black people during election and after election. I mean, when they're done voting, I mean, everybody go back to this thing, and then black people will not benefit anything from the election. When they come out, they are like, we're going to do this for black people, we're going to do that for black people, and then black people probably will vote them, and after that, that is it. So they also admitted that they do it to black people. And in the end, they are not the ones, black people are not the ones benefiting, that they are the ones benefiting. And they went further to say that they benefit more than black people. That black people, also during this affirmative action, that they were like, they are they are not the ones benefiting, that black people were the ones benefiting. But when you go and check affirmative action, you find out it benefits white people more than black people, right? So that is it. So I am wishing them well this time around, and I hope that they are getting ready, because I ain't no black people or any black person trying to save democracy this time around. We are all going to sit on it, and it's going to affect us and at the same time affect you people. So let's get on that ride. That's all I got to say. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.